most in 10 states.
I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Ecotherapy. These are the Eco Mints. They're made using state-of-the-art nanotechnology strength to CBD particles so that your body can actually use and benefit more from the hemp plant's magic. Little breath mints. They're amazing. I'm actually using the Rest mints. I take one every night before I go to bed. I sleep like a log. They've got other flavors that you can check out at their website below me. It says they've got like a revive for when you wake up. They've got a relax if you're just looking to chill. And you can find them all at their website, ecotherapycbd.com. And if you use the Worst in 10 promo code, you actually get 10% off all your purchases. So, Ecotherapy, check them out, guys.
Post Super Bowl show. This will probably be our last one full of draft. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Smokin' Joe's in Olathe, Ecotherapy at CBD.com.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
Ecotherapycbd.com.
Yes, thank you.
Ecotherapy. For all your CBD needs, go to ecotherapycbd.com and use the promo code Worst in 10.
Yep.
And you can get 10%
off
all your purchases.
I think it's everything, yeah.
Yeah, off everything. Off your purchase. Off your full purchase. That's where we want to go with.
All right. Nick Perna, co-host. I'm Reed. Jolly, thanks for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about how,
the seasons
and recap, and how do we do? We get on here and we preach, tell you what to do. We're both in 5 leagues. Producer Steven Sloan is in here this week, still locking himself down for family's sake. Wait for that big outbreak. It's probably going to happen after Christmas.
No, that's going to be.
But he did not make it into the playoffs in 2 weeks. You were in 5. You won 1.
Yep, I got. We made the playoffs in 3 out of the 5.
So yeah,
4 out of 5.
Okay,
because I didn't make the family league. That's right. 4 out of my 5 leagues, I didn't make it into the 14-man.
Either did I. Yeah, that's the one. Neither of us made it.
Yeah, we got to really figure that shit out.
I've won it 2 years in a row before that. Swear to God, and it ain't easy, but I've done it.
God, I have never been close.
There are people in over 20 years that have still not won it, so at least we're not one of those.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're kind of new to it.
This is my 3rd year.
Yeah,
I'll get there.
If Amber gets it before you, then you should be worried.
Yeah, that's my hope, is not to let her beat me out. So, so family league, coaches 2, and the Worst in 10 league.
Yeah. And the Vampire League.
And the Vampire League.
Yeah.
So, I 3rd place in coaches 2 and my family league, and then 1st place.
So you came in 4th place.
4th place in coaches 2.
Because I beat you.
Worst in 10?
No, Worst in 10. I beat you.
That's right. And coaches 2 is the one that I got.
But we made an agreement last week that it was even though we had a consolation game.
Right.
But I beat you by like 100 points.
I
you probably didn't even set your limit.
I didn't even look at it.
I did. I made sure to set my limit.
Yeah, and that's how I got lucky to get 3rd place in the other league. I wasn't paying attention. I'm at that point where, like, if it's not worth getting anything for.
No, I'm not paying attention. I'm only watching literally the ones I'm still in.
Yeah.
So you won 1, the Vampire League.
Yep.
So not bad.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. I mean, we got it was a team effort to keep the Vampire out of the playoffs, and so that was my opportunity to finally take it. And I was in 1st place in that league for like a long time. I saw a report on was it NFL.com about the top players that were the 5 top players that were in most championship games or in championship teams, fantasy wise, and Diggs and James Robinson were 2 out of the 5, and I had them both in my team. So I mean, I had a very good lineup. I didn't even have to use Diggs or Moss.
Yeah, you
to win that league.
You benched him just in case because you were ahead by 2 points.
2.6.
And it was over. He had no players left.
He had no players.
You benched those 2 players, which actually had good games.
Yep.
Just in case they did an Antonio Gibson and fell down 5 yards back and messed their leg up.
Yep. There was,
So there's some strategy there.
yeah, like it is 1 in a millionth
Chances that would happen.
that would happen. Like there's, it wouldn't have happened, but I would have hated myself if it did happen. And
You'll remember
lost.
that moment over all the wins you get after that.
So I made
you fucked that up.
I benched them both. I confirmed. As my esteemed colleague here.
Yeah, if it was bad sportsmanship, I was like, fuck that. A win's a win. Do it.
So I benched them. I got my win.
Yeah,
My
good.
favorite part is whenever I clicked on Yahoo and you want to look at the recap for the game.
Uh-huh.
I've
I've never done that. Oh.
They rate your game.
Because you benched him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had an F and he had a D minus.
Yahoo's stupid.
I know. All right, tell me about your league.
I won one. I came in second in the league with Rob, the NFL one, so I'll get money for that.
Nice.
So that's like $150, maybe a little more. It pays. They pay $25 a week for the highest points. I think I won that twice, but I came in second because Kyler Murray shit his pants, had a terrible game.
He's had a few bad games recently.
But in that league that I was in the championship, and I won the coaches 2 and beat Rich. But in those 2 leagues. That week, I dropped everyone that was on COVID or that wasn't going to play at all. That was useless because you get not.
Like it
doesn't matter after that.
leagues,
And I picked up Jalen Hurts. I picked up
all these players.
Ezekiel Elliott's backup. Yeah, so that Rich couldn't, and the other player in the league couldn't use him against me. It worked in one. Not actually, if I started Jalen Hurts, I probably would have won that league. But I didn't. I thought Murray was the answer. So. I'll buy myself a nice trophy in that one, and won $700.
Let's go to Silent. It was like $150 on a course.
I'm going that 5 courses. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's where half your winnings are going towards.
Well, that's only like a quarter of it, but I just like good food. Plus tip and a wine pairing. So, it's gonna be good. You're gonna miss out.
I know it is gonna be delicious, and I am gonna miss it, and I do want to eat it, but.
So we'll talk. I want to talk like some highlights of the week, and also about how our leagues went. But first, I definitely want to talk about throwing their Wonder Woman 2. Like we both saw it.
Yeah.
I was so excited for it. I watched half it on Christmas Day, and kind of fell asleep because everyone eats so much that day. I finished it when I got home from Oklahoma. I did travel for Christmas. How was your Christmas, by the way?
Boring. I didn't do anything. We kept postponing our Christmas. So
that sucks.
Yeah.
I should have stayed home. Just had
you
over.
I didn't do anything. I watched was the Steelers game.
Yeah.
And got high and I went to go see Wonder Woman on Christmas Day. That was it.
You went to see it or you watched it at home?
I went to the theater.
Oh.
Yeah, I might.
How full was it?
2 people.
And that's usually the second or number 1 or number 2 biggest day in theater.
Yeah, and it's IMAX theater, right? So
2 people.
2 other people, including me, so 3 total. And there were a couple.
Yeah.
Boy, did I feel lonely.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was terrible.
It was.
You have a different view on it. I thought the writing was bad. It was cheeky. A lot like winks at kids was stupid. Too much use of the lasso. The graphics were kind of not
Well,
on
at the
par.
beginning of the whole fucking thing, she's trying to be discreet, right? Like, so she's throwing her little thing, so she destroys cameras, and all of a sudden, so nobody can see her. But then halfway through it, she's just walking through the town, like
in a bikini.
Yeah,
or whatever that is.
There was no credible villain because you felt you felt
empathy for the people that wanted a wish.
For both Max Lord, who Pedro Pascal nailed that role.
Yeah,
absolutely killed it. And Kristen Wiig, who
his best role though is when you can't see his face and he has a helmet on. Honestly,
calm down.
The Mandalorian is amazing. I'm just saying.
We've talked about that. So Kristen Wiig's character, she's a social outcast. A lot of people can reflect, and you get that opportunity to make that wish, and you're all of a sudden this powerful.
She's getting like catcalled and assaulted.
Her
dreams, rooting for her to not.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, you know that she's going to learn a lesson and everything like that, but you're, like you said, rooting for another villain.
Yeah.
So you have 3 people you're rooting for, and that is just, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
There was an hour in there you could have cut for that movie. In different parts.
The cheesiness of the invisible plane and the fireworks come on. And then her learning to lasso lightning or something to fly.
It was stupid.
I'm done. Okay, so there's that part. They went Jurassic Park 2 on us with the kid, and I'm just supposed to automatically think Pedro Pascal just had an Asian kid. And then, and I get it, like, fostering is awesome, and he could be a foster kid, but they don't say anything like that.
Yeah.
I explain it, if anything, but
it's not like she had Patty more time to write this. It was supposed to come out a long time ago. You had so much time to fix this.
And you pushed this
at home,
back.
zooming other writers. Like, what do you think of this? Yeah, it seemed like they were rushing.
And at some point you sit there and just go, I mean, is there just not a Mexican teenage kid that you could put in that role?
Yeah.
Like, is there not an actor that was good enough? And you have to sit there and go, no, that Asian kid's our son.
Yeah.
Do
you think HBO Max just wrote him a check and they're like, oh, we're done with the movie. It's ready. And
maybe. I don't
know.
But, and then.
In the beginning, the mole scene, nobody honestly holds a child over the railings ever. Like, no. There's
Jackson.
Yes, but he didn't drop him. This guy dropped it. She saved it, right?
Yeah.
But you don't hold a gun to its head or have some leverage. Just dropping a kid, you just dropped your leverage over the superhero. And those were the worst fucking robbers and villains ever. And that was horrible acting, just whole part.
Oh my God.
It was stupid. But
and then we haven't even touched on this. These are all major problems with the film. And then we haven't even
the one you brought up on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yes, which I didn't even really think about it and click, and I read it, and at first, and I'm going to let you say what you said, but first I read the beginning about rape, and I was like, ooh, Nick, we're dudes. I mean, you are. I know you never would do anything like that, but I don't think we're even allowed to, like, comment or could, like, to say that we're the shoot. But you brought up a very good point that I didn't think about.
Okay, so spoiler alert for anyone who has not seen the new Wonder Woman.
If you haven't, don't go see it.
Spoiler alert. So they have this wish stone where if you grant a wish, you get something in return. You get that wish to come true, but they take something away, something in return or whatever. And
what did they take from Wonder Woman to get that wish?
She was getting, like, shot. And her powers were losing, like, so.
And then she lost him at the end, and he had to.
And she
so
got
go ahead
her
and
strike
explain
back. Okay, so her wish was that she wants her love back, her one true love, Chris Pine. Steve Trevor, I believe is his name, from the first Wonder Woman. So this wish goes, like, she makes the wish, and you don't think anything of it because you're just like, okay, whatever, not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But then stranger starts talking to her, like, hey, what are you doing? And then if you rewatch that scene, like, multiple guys are trying to pick her up. So I don't know if that soul is, like, leaping from person to person to person.
Oh, maybe I didn't think about that either.
Trying to grab her attention until one of them got her attention.
Yeah.
And so this guy, who's obviously wealthy because he was at a freaking museum gala, gets his body inhabited by.
And tickets to that probably cost way more than the sign.
So he gets taken over by Steve Trevor. And Wonder Woman only sees Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
Everyone else, even Chris Pine's character, when he looks in a mirror,
sees the guy whose body he's in. Which is stupid. Just bring back Chris Pine. Don't inhabit somebody's body. It's like, not a ghost story.
Somebody was commenting, like, these are fictional characters. Why are you bringing up such an intense thing? It's like, it's a fictional movie. Why couldn't they just have that guy appear?
Yeah. That would have been easier to take.
It would have just been, or, it could have been a stupid line that they read in the stupid book that they're looking at, where they say something like, a soul can't inhabit another body without consent. And then, guess what? Everything that is consensual.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is they have sex.
Yeah.
Chris Pine and Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, they have sex.
Now, Chris Pine inside the body is consensual, but the body he's using, and I guess that
it's
guy's
just a vessel. It's just
Yeah,
a
and
vessel.
that guy's
point.
brain and soul is in the back and can't control his own body at the time.
So it's just like if you were hypnotized.
Yes,
Your mind is pushed back.
or possessed by something.
Right.
Yeah.
Or possession. So this is what happens. Now, Steve Trevor takes his body on a wonderful vacation.
Yeah.
Probably could have gotten shot or punched.
Yeah, or he would have got the guy killed.
Yeah, could have done
Yeah.
many different things like that. For all we
He
know, he
fired
got
rockets.
Amazonian STD to this guy who
Yeah, she's been around for
ages. Who
Yeah.
knows what the hell's going on down there?
There's
There
a lot
could
of
be
bad stuff.
fungus.
World War II. There were a lot of bad diseases.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows what the hell's down there? They could have contracted this to this
Yeah.
guy who's completely unknown. So now comes the worst part. Like this part literally disgusts me,
Yeah.
and I get cringy every time I just like think about it. At the very end of this movie, they have this moment where, Wonder Woman, Diana's, she's not dressed as Wonder Woman, but she just sees
No.
the snow falling and
No,
everything's
she runs into the
tactfully
guy.
and the guy shows up and they have a nice little conversation and then she just smirks at him
Yeah,
and then
like-
turns away as if she's sitting there going, yeah, I hit that
Yeah.
and he'll never
And he
know.
doesn't know.
How creepy is that?
But I don't know if you touched on it. Like while Chris Pine's in that body, she's having sex with that guy, and the guy who owns the body doesn't know.
Yeah.
So would you call that's kind of sexual assaulty?
It is.
Yeah.
It is it is. There's no ifs or buts about it, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It
No
is.
pun intended.
Yeah.
No tits or butts about it.
Yeah, it's rape. And
Yeah.
yes, I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't have to be in the film, that it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
romantic, but there were ways to go about it without it being such a issue.
Yeah.
And I mean, this movie was pushed back how many times? There wasn't a single
lot.
person during a test run that sat there and said,
And go,
hey,
yeah, this is a little weird.
we should probably make a line in here to try and fix this, or
Yeah.
is something else. Nobody said that, or they just ignored it.
Huh.
And at this point, I'm more insulted with Patty Jenkins than anybody who sits there.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this film
Was the very end
with
where you see the actual
original Wonder Woman.
That was cool. That is the only bright spot of
Yeah,
the film.
I was just like, that's really cool to see. And that she was like the Andromeda
Yeah.
original one. I was like, all right, that's a great fan service nod
Yeah.
to people like us who've seen the classic ones.
And
Like,
anyone just under your age or younger probably had no idea who the fuck that was.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a nice little nod to a lot of fans of the TV show, and I thought that was cool.
And the TV show Wonder Woman never went around humping guys without their consent.
Right? Not that I know.
And that was actually in the 80s.
But it's in this Me Too era. I don't think there's there needs to be a common ground, and you can't just sit around and do that without acknowledging that this is happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am never going to see that movie again. And
No.
if they greenlit the third one, I'm not seeing it. I won't. I'm not going to waste my time with it. Gal Gadot does look fucking hot as
She
hell
does.
with that long white dress, with
Yeah.
that
Yep.
crease up that leg.
If that guy had been in control of his own body, he would have totally done it willingly.
Yeah, exactly.
He just didn't get a choice.
No,
But us guys want our voice heard too.
Dude,
God damn it.
exactly.
Yeah. We have penises.
yes,
We want them to be respected.
exactly. We deserve them to be respected.
We probably just lost the 6 listeners that we had. Just kidding. All right, let's take a break here. We'll just talk football after that because I knew we were going to spend time on that.
It's only rape.
Yeah. Are we back?
Yeah.
Oh, good job, Stephen Sloan, for hitting record. I appreciate that. So let's talk about that first game. It was Friday.
Oh,
Saints,
since,
Vikings.
Was that the first game?
It was the first game. I don't know if it was Friday. It was
Christmas
Eve,
Christmas,
right?
Christmas Day, because they didn't have one
was
on
it
Christmas Eve.
more?
They didn't have one on
Eve?
Thursday.
Okay.
They had Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
What was the Friday game?
I think that was the Steelers. Hold on, I'm pulling shit up now for you.
Okay, thanks. Anyway, Kamara, 6 touchdowns.
Okay, you were right.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Oh, that's right.
Friday. It was the
Kamara
night
had
game.
that
6 touchdowns. I had him against
60-point game for you.
yes. Fantastic.
Oh,
Anyone that had Kamara probably blew their league out. But in that league, I started Kyler Murray also and some other people, Josh Jacobs, that pulled up at the 1 yard line and didn't get the touchdown. If he had done that against Miami, they'd have won the game. But he held up and did the Atlanta Falcons thing they did weeks ago.
Yeah, where they let the clock run
So
out.
he fucked me on that. Rich, at the end of the game with Kamara, that first game of the week, I was a 95% to win. And then Rich creeped all the way back. I only ended up winning by like 10 or something. It was crazy. The rest of my team tried to fuck me as much as they could.
But you deserve to get fucked if you have a 6 touchdown performance and it's that close.
Yeah.
But that was really cool because the record he broke was something that hasn't been met since or he didn't break it. I guess he tied this guy's record from 1929.
Yeah, but true. That guy, but nobody's playing fantasy football then, so I don't include him.
No, but I mean,
So that's not
it's still one of those. And I mean,
For Yahoo, he's the record holder.
and that was what, like Leatherhead football back then too.
In
So
Yahoo
it's not-
scoring, that's the record.
yeah, and it should be, and it's awesome that he did it.
62.2 in
Just
PPR.
to see that, like to watch that.
Mhm.
But I mean, man, and the best part about that is you sit there, you watch that, and you're like, how can the NFL top what they did on Christmas?
And then they did the next day with the. But let's talk about Kamara for one more second. Of the players that have, and this is ESPN scoring. I couldn't find Yahoo's. So they're the same as Yahoo's for running backs, but for quarterbacks, they're only 4-point touchdowns. Who do you think record he beat? Like, who do you think was like any player?
We just talked about this, didn't we, just a little while ago? Like we brought up the all-time points.
So we did for up to the season. Like Diggs was up. This is a
Well,
couple
no, I
weeks
thought
ago.
like we were talking about like who had the most fantasy points, and I kept throwing out names like Julio Jones or Calvin Johnson, and then you
I don't think we
said
did.
Clinton Portis.
Oh shit,
Like,
I did.
yeah.
Yeah, for running back, he's number one, 55.4. And and that was in 03. Sean Alexander in 02, Corey Dillon in 97, and Jamal Charles in 13. He had 51.5.
Jamal Charles was amazing.
It was. Now, the most ever scored, of course, were all quarterbacks. This is a quarterback league.
Yeah.
It has been for a while. Michael Vick was the record holder.
Yep, I remember you telling me that. A week, is it 1 week? Must have been a week ago.
All right, maybe it was.
Or maybe 3
then-
weeks.
Well, this is maybe I did, but because of Kamara, I want to look. Mark Rippon in 91 was number 2. Quarterbacks Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Nick Foles, Ben Roethlisberger, and I think Trubisky comes in at like number 7
Oh, God.
from 2 years
2
ago.
years ago? We
Yeah.
had that. Ugh.
He had one monster game. And then, yes, Tom Brady, 300 the next day, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns in one half. I listened to that one on the radio
That was just insane.
on my way back from Oklahoma. And anyone that started DeAndre Swift or any Detroit player, and I listened to Fantasy XM radio that whole weekend because I was with my family and I needed something else to listen to. They actually watched church live on TV and zoomed in. I had to zoom out. And everyone was telling people in the Super Bowl, fantasy owners, to play DeAndre Swift, that it was a juicy matchup. He's going to get a couple touchdowns. And they got demolished. That team gave up like 10 minutes
They
in.
didn't have Stafford.
No,
They didn't have
Galladay.
I mean, at this point, you might as well throw in
the
some.
coach was fired.
Yeah, Patricia. So I mean,
They had no coaching staff at all. They were calling in plays to some
Chase Daniels, who's I mean, he's
came in.
I don't know.
Oh, Stafford played for like 5 minutes. Then Chase Daniels came in.
It's
Another great game if you had Brady.
Brady was phenomenal.
Did you start Brady? You had him.
I had him in the 14-man league.
Oh.
So it's did not.
Luckily, I did not have to play against him.
Right. Mike Evans had a monster game too.
He did. He broke the records for all-time receiver for Tampa Bay
God,
for
good for him.
receptions and yards in one game.
Who had the record before that? Keyshawn.
I don't remember.
It's got to be Keyshawn. What other Tampa Bay receivers out there that's produced?
I don't
It's
know.
got to be Keyshawn.
I don't know. Look that up.
Maybe somebody.
And in Miami Vegas game Saturday night, I watched that one at work. That game, Las Vegas totally threw it away.
I
They beat themselves.
was pissed because it was once again one of those NFL Network games. I almost called you. I knew you were in Oklahoma. I'm like, hey, can I go to your house to use your NFL?
Oh, you could have. I was actually at work.
Oh,
but
Saturday.
The game's not on the ticket.
Oh, they're not?
No, NFL Network games are on NFL Network. The Sunday ticket streaming, it's only for Sunday games,
Oh.
so you don't got to see it.
So, yeah, that would have. Okay. Well, that was my only thought because I had no way of seeing that game.
Yeah. And go to a bar that has it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that during.
That has the NFL, or somebody that has cable.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that during a pandemic. I'm going to stick to people.
Well, you could have done a 3-day free trial with Sling. Comes with NFL Network. That's what we did last Sunday to watch the Bills game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Always think outside the box.
Yeah.
Did it for 3, canceled it after 1 day. Nothing.
But yeah, so the Miami game would have been fun to see. I think they're one of my favorite teams in the NFL.
Fitzpatrick did a great job
I have
coming
been
back.
high on them all season.
You have.
And I'm going to be so upset they don't make it into the playoffs.
They won't with a loss to the Bills this week.
Yep.
They'll get knocked out.
Well,
You and I have a bet that Miami would have a better record than the Bills,
yeah,
which ain't going to happen now. Unless the Bills bench everyone. They lose to the Dolphins. Dolphins come in the playoffs with a wild card, work their way up, and have a better finish than.
Yeah.
So you still have a chance.
There is a
The
chance.
regular season record, you've lost.
Yeah, but okay, no. So even if the Dolphins
You remember what the bet was?
lose, of course not.
You have to get a tattoo of my face, go like this.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That wasn't a bet. It was a hat.
Okay, that's a hat again.
But
I like that bet.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
Yeah. But I want a Super Bowl hat.
That's okay. You're right. What was it? A AFC.
And if they don't make it, it's AFC
championship.
East champions hat. Yeah.
That's right. But now I wish I could have watched the game. I like Miami. I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of the channeling they put it on, I didn't get to see it.
I know. Fuck NFL Network. They always do this shit at the end of the year.
Yeah. And it's stupid because these are prime games.
Yes.
That everybody's just like.
Yeah. It's like NFL Network gets their, like, we'll flex this one up. We'll take that one away from ES or DirecTV and it fucks normal people that don't want to go to a super spreader in a bar.
Yep.
And
have to put down the money. That's
and you got to buy shit.
But I saw that replay of the ending, the face mask throw by Fitzpatrick. I mean, that is just
clutch.
incredible.
How do you not make him your starting quarterback against the Bills?
Go with what works?
Did it work?
I don't know. I really don't know.
He was dull against the Raiders.
And
you got
what
Fitzmagic and Fitztragic didn't show up. Fitzmagic and he saved the day.
So Tua has been, if you compare him to the other quarterbacks, he's fine. I think he's only averaging like 160 yards per game, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
A lot of rushing yards.
I don't think that many, but I mean,
oh my God, the two Gaskin and Hamed both had huge days.
Don't remind me. I had Gaskins on the bench, so
I did too, or Hamed.
I had my original starting lineup. I had set from the very beginning. James Robinson as my running back, Jarvis Landry as my flex. I was good to go. And both of them were out, so I had to throw in a running back, and it was between. I picked up my running back, I put in Zach Moss.
Not bad.
Because I just figured I need somebody there. And then so my other flex, I had to find somebody. And it was between, who did I put in there? It was either going to be between Gaskins or who was
I think it's Gaskin singular, isn't it?
Who cares? Gaskins or Russell Gage. And I thought
Russell Gage got 2 points.
Yeah. He didn't
after a big game the week before.
But I thought, Chiefs, they'll run the score up and they'll have to have a pass-heavy game. And it turned out to be one of the most boring Chiefs games I've ever seen in my life. Ooh. But.
You mean against the Falcons? That wasn't boring. That was
the Chiefs-Falcons game?
Yeah.
The 7-14 game?
Chiefs-Falcons that just happened last week. Yeah. They won by like 3 points.
I know. It was boring.
If Koo had made that kick, The Chiefs may not have.
I know. It was very boring.
Oh, I think it was riveting.
There was just no excitement going back and forth. The offense didn't even look like they wanted to play.
But if you had Matt Ryan in your DraftKings as your quarterback, it was exciting.
Probably.
He had a good day.
Gage didn't do anything.
Because the Chiefs have holes on defense.
But I had Gaskins, Diggs. I didn't even. No, I had to put Moss down because I didn't have that. But I mean, Gaskin on the bench. Jalen Hurts had a better game than Russell Wilson. It was. I got lucky.
So you benched Landry for Cleveland.
Well, Landry had to because
you knew that all the wide receivers didn't even get on the plane.
Yeah.
Daniel didn't know. He started Baker Mayfield with no wide receivers in DraftKings. And I won DraftKings this week, by the way. Like 125. And Dale
started Baker.
And he came up that day, and I was like, there's no wide receivers for Clinton. Like, he has nobody. He's going to run and throw to one tight end. He was like, oh, fuck. But it was too late. You got to
pay attention to things.
Yes. Listen to our podcast. Well, we didn't.
I didn't watch that, but I check my starting lineup.
I do constantly.
At least like 3 or 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, I'm OCD about it. Like, I'm always checking. And always
like, did I do this? Did I forget to bench this person? Start him. Oh, okay, I did. Well, let's check.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, and if you're not going to pay attention, why play?
I like people that don't pay attention. They're elite because they're easy wins. Yeah,
you need a couple.
You just get the money. Yeah, you get a couple of bye weeks. Yeah. People don't pay attention.
A couple.
All right, so Chiefs Atlanta, you thought was boring. I thought it showed a lot.
The Chiefs haven't been doing anything for the last 5 weeks. I'm not worried at all.
You locked up number one. You shouldn't be worried. But are you worried that Mahomes is going to have 2 weeks of rest? And probably Hill, too. He's got to hurt his calf. And they're going to rest probably the 3 or 4 main starters.
I mean, they'll probably just bench Kelsey, which I have him rest as well. And Kelsey, who I'm kind of upset they're going to rest him because I kind of wanted him to play tough so he could take out Diggs and have
the most receptions in yardage for the NFL.
Yes, as a tight end, which has never been done. But I'd prefer him to rest for a week.
You'd rather have the Super Bowl than an accolade for one player. I agree.
But I bet they might have him dress out, get a start in, and then
maybe a series, like a preseason game.
Yeah,
they should.
A couple snaps, just so they don't.
You don't want him to get hurt.
Mahomes gets his, starting recognition.
Yeah, so he gets one more, so he doesn't have a break in his starts. Yeah, so maybe someday he can beat Favre or Manning.
Like that. Yeah.
I agree with that. So, and I'm sure they'll do that. And I'm sure he'll have his jersey and pads on in case something happens.
I bet he won't by the halftime.
No.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They've got it locked up. They don't need it. I am nervous of only one team. I'm not nervous of your Bills after beating you guys pretty soundly. I'm pretty sure we can do it again.
It was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, you guys, it doesn't matter.
You were a different team there, and we were. Then
it was
also
raining. You got lucky that you were even hanging that close.
Yeah. If the Falcons can hang that close, and the
I don't think the Chiefs take their game seriously lately.
Really?
They're just because you just watch their offense. They're just lethargic out there. They're bored. It looks like.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hopefully playoffs they get out there and just launch it. So what else your Bills do?
Maybe.
Tell me about your Bills.
They won.
And
we benched Josh Allen in the third quarter, but he had I think 3-4 touchdowns, 322 yards. Then they benched him. Diggs took over as
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, like 140 yards.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
and supposedly today we signed Kenny Stills, the Bills, and another guy was an undrafted free agent for Chicago. Can't remember his name, but he was a wide receiver in 2017. University of Wyoming. People called him in 2017 the next Cole Beasley. Can't remember his name, but apparently we're signing him. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Foot?
Yeah.
Okay. It better be, or somebody left a fucking pet in here or something, because that was weird. So I think we're set up, and we can lock up the number 2. We haven't locked it up yet.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the home field advantage really that important this year?
It is, I think now because Governor Cuomo for New York is a governor, right? Yeah. Just said Bill Stadium, New Era Field, could have fans for the playoffs. About 20%, like the Chiefs. So there'll be Bills Mafia and Bills fans there for the games. And we have home field advantage all the way through the playoffs up until the AFC. If we play Chiefs. Now, if the Chiefs don't make it, we have home field advantage all the way through. I know. You can fart. You can make queef noises all you want. But this year we know, like, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen craziest things ever this year happen. So I'm excited. And that's, I mean, Josh Allen's already shattered Jim Kelly's best year.
Yeah.
Diggs is shattered Eric Mold's year.
So
We have record-setting, like, we've done this.
2 weeks ago when I had the episode by myself, I had a fun little vent about how I get that everybody wants to talk about how great Josh Allen is.
Well, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
That was 2-3 weeks ago.
No.
Because we did it by ourselves here last week, and then the week before I was by myself.
The one that didn't get recorded.
Yeah. Oh, only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but it didn't get recorded. So.
No.
But, okay.
But what I said on here, that on that episode that didn't get recorded,
Okay.
I mentioned that as much as Josh Allen's playing great, and he is, there's no denying that. You posted, people want to start throwing his name out there in contention with Aaron Rodgers for MVP.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned it as well after their win as well. You posted something. I don't think he's the MVP. I think Diggs needs to get a lot more recognition.
I agree, but you make an argument for Kelsey too.
Yeah, and I do every single time.
And I don't think anyone but a quarterback,
I think
except for Sean Alexander, has ever won the MVP. It always goes to him. Really?
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
He got it like in 2007. That year he came back from the injury.
Yeah,
had like 2,000 yards season.
13 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But it's still.
It's all quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's usually quarterbacks. But I think Diggs has just had. Just what he's able to do going into a new team, new coach, new playbook, new quarterback, new wide receiving room.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, these are variables that can
stay away from COVID.
Yeah, and these are all variables that an athlete goes into every team they go to. And whenever you get placed into a new one, all of those, one of those things can just shatter your career completely and put it off kilter. The OBJ, for example.
Yeah.
But he came into this and he flourished.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't think Allen is anywhere near as good if Diggs was not on that team. And that is where I'm going with. I'm not saying Allen is bad.
No, he's good, but he wouldn't even be number 3 in the MVP race.
Exactly.
He's at number 3 right now.
He'd be about number 3.
He has some better stats than Mahomes and Rodgers, but collectively, I think he's number 3.
Yeah,
which I'm okay. Like you mentioned,
Mahomes,
I'd rather have the record, the AFC East in a Super Bowl more than an MVP. Yeah.
The other person I think you should get MVP that doesn't get, and I think this would just be mind blowing, Aaron Donald. For the defensive tackle, because once again, a player that if you take them off that team is completely worthless.
Yeah.
That Rams defense would be nothing without Donald. And he's never going to get that recognition because he's defense. But I really like how Diggs is playing. I think he's just really shocking how, just not as an athlete, as a person, to be able to mentally handle all of that and still be awesome. So
because he plays a lot of Madden with Josh Allen.
That was Call of Duty.
Oh, they do. That's how they started. They play a lot of Madden together. This is literally the best Bills team I've seen in my lifetime. I think this team is better than the 4 Super Bowls that they lost. I think it's way better. My expectations, usually as a Bills fan, I'm like, oh, maybe we'll creep in the playoffs. Then I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the draft. But my expectations are high now. So I feel like the longer the fall. So
you know what sucks about this though? Is this is going to be that you're going to be like Carson Palmer. good, hangs around the playoffs and gets really close, but never gets there. Maybe you'll get there once and then you'll lose.
Who? Me
You,
or
the Josh Allen, the Bills.
Oh, no.
You're not. You guys have got.
That's how it's been up to now, and I agree. We've always fallen short.
Like it's you're gonna get stuck playing Mahomes for years now, 10 years.
I'm looking forward to it.
and you're gonna lose so much.
Next season, we're playing here in Kansas City.
You're
You know
gonna
that?
have a Herbert who is going to be an NFL MVP at some point,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to deal with that.
Well, he's not in
when
our
you get
division.
to-
You got to deal with that.
Well, no, I'm just saying if you want to get to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
these are obstacles in the future that your Bills are going to have to get through.
Oh, I know.
That you got to be prepared for because you're going to lose.
That's why I want to
You're never going to
win now.
You're not going to win now
Yeah, we'll
because you're
see.
still stuck behind Mahomes.
Yeah, we'll see.
This is why
I'm confident.
Jim Kelly's never compared to Troy Aikman and Steve Young. You always carry those guys.
Well, he
higher
is.
than
I
Kelly
mean, he's been to Super Bowl more times
but doesn't have the
and he has a gold jacket.
but he doesn't have the rings.
He has 4 AFC championship rings.
Eh,
You know what those are worth? Not as much as the other ones. You know what you call a Bills player with a Super Bowl ring?
Fantasy?
A thief.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's talk about our draft in 2020 when we
Okay.
did it in the fuck we do it August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which league is this we're going to go over?
I think this is the coaches too. But I just want to go through the first 2 rounds and we'll be like, not give them a grade, but like this, like number 1, Patrick Mahomes. First pick, first round, a solid pick.
A solid
Today.
pick, but I still don't think it's a smart pick at number 1.
I don't either. You should never take a quarterback.
Did you see how terrible poor Alyssa's team did? I mean, sure, her
Yes.
quarterback play was fine.
She
but
didn't make the
won 2
playoffs.
games.
It was bad. She could have taken Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, anyone else in round 4 or 5.
Exactly. And I think that's probably the best.
And then
option.
transition to like Tua, Kirk Cousins to get her through.
But let's
playoffs.
take a look at the next 2 players.
Christian McCaffrey, number
And
2,
then-
done. I mean,
And then
he played 3 games. Saquon Barkley,
gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like,
what,
her
2
next-
weeks, done.
So if this is the beginning of the season, everybody's healthy, and she doesn't go Mahomes, she's going to go with one of
She
those.
would have, and should have
those
been
other 2
even
players
more
and
fun.
more fun.
Yeah,
So I mean, that just shows you right off the bat how the beginning of this year started. Like this is
that's why as a fantasy player, I don't know how you feel about this. I never want the number 1 pick.
Oh,
I'll trade it. I want
never.
the middle to the end.
anything after 4.
And then Ezekiel Elliott had probably the worst year of
In
his
his career.
career. Michael Thomas,
nothing.
which was your pick, terrible. He had
Horrible game.
2
season.
good games, and then
2 games
ankle
where he showed up.
injury, punched a player. I don't know, all
You know,
kinds
it
of
was asking
issues.
for. There was a trade rumors at some point. Like it was
Yeah.
just a mess.
horrible season for him. Number 6, Derrick Henry. That's
Great
the
pick.
first solid pick
Yep.
of the first round. Great pick.
Yep.
That guy did not make the playoffs, though. Jeff.
No, we did not.
No. Dalvin Cook after that, really solid
Good
pick.
pick.
Good
Oh,
pick.
good
He actually made the playoffs. George Kittle, injured, but
Interesting.
yeah, I never like taking tight ends.
Kelsey is in a bad spot. Like I said, at
Yeah.
the 11 or 12 spot.
I never would've
depending
done
on how something falls. But usually, if I've got the 11 and 12 pick, I can still draft Kelsey at like the second round.
Yeah, that's why I like the ends.
But
I did pick up George Kittle last week for the Super Bowl. It actually started him. I think I'm at like 9 points. It was all right.
I had picked him up, and then I was having problems with James Robinson, so I ended up dropping him.
Oh,
So
all
I
right.
can deal with Logan Thomas.
Number 8, DeAndre Hopkins, solid
Good.
pick.
Great pick.
The best wide receiver so far. That was a great pick. She did make them. I think this is the one she beat. She beat Daniels. She won this week. Then after that, Alvin Kamara. That was my pick
Great
at
pick there.
10. It worked out great. Devontae Adams,
Great pick.
great fucking pick. Travis Kelce, great fucking pick.
Yep.
Those are all solid. I will never draft at the beginning ever again. I'll try to get something to trade it, or I'll just give it up and take any other pick. 'Cause if I draw 1 through 6 out of the hat, I'm not doing it.
1, 2, and 3 are always really rough
No.
because it's got to
You
be
have everything
that first
mortgaged
pick
on that.
has to
They
be
have
a
to.
home run.
They do.
And
Yeah.
that's almost kind of a smart move if you go QB, if you have those number 1 picks, because
No.
you need them to perform. And they
You do, yeah.
let's just be honest, it's a very soft league, and they don't hit the quarterbacks as hard. So, I mean, there's not
True.
nearly as many
Yeah.
major injuries,
Yeah.
unless you're
and
Joe
they're-
Burrow.
Yeah. But really, for quarterbacks all year, there weren't a lot of injuries.
No.
Some COVID stuff. Matt Stafford had a lot of injuries, but
Those
nobody
have
was
been
taking
touting
him
for
in the
years.
first
Yeah.
8 years. Or
But I
8
mean, like, so if you
picks.
think about it, like the
Rounds.
Mahomes draft selection at 1 isn't a bad like thought process.
She just didn't follow it up with quality
Quality
players
players, yeah.
because she let her boyfriend at the time pick the rest of that was that one. With
Wait,
that-
hold on. At the time,
You know that they're broken up. She's not seeing it guy.
no,
Yeah. You've known that.
no,
She's dated like 5 other guys since our fucking draft.
really.
He drafted the rest of the team, and I was like, Alyssa, are you going to draft any of your players? She's like, he knows what he's doing. He's so cute. Whatever.
All right.
She's been single since she wasn't dating that guy when she was in Nashville with us.
Yeah, she was.
Uh-huh.
Because she would
No, they
about it.
just broke up.
like it was like this whole thing because we were talking about it on the way there. Like, is he going to make it or is he not going to make it? But now he's not going to
No,
try.
because they broke up. I
But-
thought I
but it became
explained
that.
that.
No, because
No.
he wasn't coming down because he couldn't get off work.
Yeah, whatever.
And
It's
she wouldn't,
history.
like, she sat there and,
The point is her fantasy team sucks. You
Okay.
can start texting her whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
got it.
So, Rich, round 2, first pick of the second round at number 12, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
It's,
It was a homer pick. Oh, it wasn't easy. He's not.
Rich.
I don't know.
There
It
was a Josh
alright.
Jacobs that was available. I think
Yeah,
that's a little bit
Tyreek Hill. Ooh. Yeah.
But, I mean, right, he obviously
He had the
an
right idea.
He had an
He did.
idea, and
Yeah.
he took a shot on a rookie, I think, a little
I'm
earlier
okay.
than I
Yeah, a
would.
little early.
If I was into the second round, maybe lean
Yeah.
towards that. But I think at this point there were still good enough running backs and wide receivers available that you didn't have to take
There
a
were.
chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
on a
done that. I was scared. Travis Kelce for sure. Hilaire not. Then next, all the way back, Amber, Tyreek Hill,
Great.
Fantastic.
Devontae Adams and
and
Tyreek
Hill, and
God.
Deshaun Watson, Chris Carson. How did she not win?
Well, because of Chris Carson.
He wasn't bad.
He didn't play.
He did. Well, yeah, there was some, but really, the
Look at her running back
Big-
situation. Marlon Mack, Tevin Coleman, and
DeAndre,
DeAndre Swift.
injured. Yeah, McLaurin was awesome.
Hunter Henry. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
there's some bad stuff.
she started off great with those 2 wide receivers, and
Well,
it
She probably still only kept these 6. Everything else is, I'm sure, it's changed.
McLaurin, Watson. I like those, especially where she
Yeah.
drafted. That's it.
McLaurin had a great season.
Yeah, McLaurin did. I liked him as a flex too, and this was a PPR league, right?
Yeah, this was the half PPR.
So yeah, I
So-
like it.
All the way back around to Josh Jacobs, solid pick. That was me. But
Yep.
I won this one, right?
Yeah.
I did win. Then Julio Jones, great pick,
In
except
theory,
for the last couple weeks. He had a couple weeks took off in the last 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. Not so great.
yeah.
Then Miles Sanders,
He came
I
on
don't know.
late,
Came on late. Then Chris Godwin at number 7.
and I think
the way back.
a lot of people were high on all of these.
Yeah, a little too
Tampa
high.
Bay people. I think that he was a little high for him.
I feel like he's hit or miss.
Nick Chubb
Nick Chubb was the
Good
next
pick.
one. That's a solid pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Then
that.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, but
That was-
it worked out until Dak got hurt.
Yeah. But he had a great game for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Did you start him?
No, I don't even know.
Oh, you
if
were-
he was even, I wasn't paying attention. He may have started.
Dude. That was the week to pick up Andy Dalton off waivers.
Oh,
he had
yeah,
like
right.
4 touchdowns and 400 yards.
Where was that at the beginning of when Andy Dalton was taking over for the
You
Cowboys?
just got to be patient.
God.
Then Kenyon Drake. Here and I don't know. I was high on him. Joe Mixon got injured. Actually did well.
Okay.
okay.
A game.
But then he disappeared and it was stupid. Aaron Jones, super solid pick.
So late too.
So late,
It's just-
great value.
And I mean, especially now knowing that he had McCaffrey, but then to back it up with Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
So it,
you're replacing one for the other easily.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then Mike Evans ends the second round. Pretty solid pick there. It worked out. Yeah.
he was consistent, unlike
What?
Godwin and all those tight ends.
That's just a little recap of
What it happened.
one of our drafts.
Yeah.
Out of
And,
5.
it's funny how, like, I don't think I'm ever going to draft Michael Thomas again. I think he's lost my
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah.
Same with Julio. I think he's getting up there in age.
I was doing Julio a couple years ago.
And I'm probably never going to be looking at Barkley again. Knee injuries are very bad for running backs,
Yeah.
especially a team that's so run heavy. So it's a shame to see a lot of those top-notch players that you saw in the first round just
Yeah.
plummet away, because I don't think any of those are going to be the same next
Who's
year.
going to be like the top picks you think for next year's draft?
I think Mahomes is still got to be something you think about,
Somewhere in the
especially
first
Kansas
round.
City.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to give that guy some props. And then Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Like-
Kamara is going to
and
move
Kamara-
up boards.
Like,
What about Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs? Those guys are going to move up some boards.
they're going to move up, but I don't think they're up there yet. It's like when
Okay.
James Robinson, who was undrafted, I still wouldn't touch
He's-
him until third. maybe
No, but he's
third
moving up.
round.
He was
Second, third round.
undrafted.
Yeah.
But that's quite a move
So,
up.
I mean, like, it's just one of those things where I need to see more of a workload out of them.
Yeah.
So they would be somewhere where I would draft a Josh Jacobs from this year. Second round, middle of second round.
Yeah.
I don't think they're first round caliber yet, but I think Josh Jacobs has really proved to be a first round talent if the offense can get going. And I think he could make a leap up to that first round area, depending on
Yeah.
what they do. Chubb, I think we're going to start seeing a lot out of Nick Chubb.
Okay. Think he'll move up boards, not down.
Oh, yeah, most
Huh?
definitely.
All right. What do you next year? What do you like better? Tua, Hurts, or Burrow? And where do you take the first one? I bet you can get all three pretty late.
Okay, so let's start with Hurts. I don't think he'll be drafted. No, I take that back. There's going to be one person who, after Kyler goes, Lamar goes,
Yeah, I bet Hurts goes.
somebody's going to want that dual threat
Yeah.
QB. They're going to jump early on him in like the 5th, 6th round. I'm not going to touch Hurts. I'm not very sure if he's the answer in Philly or not, especially after this past week's game.
Yeah.
He looked sloppy.
Yeah,
His first game looked phenomenal. He still got some good fantasy points. It just looked sloppy. So I wouldn't draft him. I'd give him another couple of years to
what
grow.
about Tua?
Tua, I like.
You drafted him super late though, right?
Super late.
Could be your starter eventually.
He could be somebody that
Be a great
last
backup.
pick, if I decide to
Tua,
go back up.
Mahomes, or an Allen. Yeah, but you don't like drafting backup.
I know, but I wouldn't draft him to be my starter. He seems like there's the talent, the potential. He needs the talent around him.
Yeah.
Devontae Parker's good and all. Get him somebody great.
Yeah.
Give him a legit
somebody
number one
else.
target.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to rely on the run game, build that offensive line to run the game
Yeah.
like they do for Lamar. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Burrow?
Yeah.
Injured, not drafting him.
You're
at all.
no.
I think
That was
he's
an
hurt.
injury too, right?
Yeah. Well, even if he wouldn't have the injury and he was coming back healthy,
Yeah.
that'd be fine. There's questions if he's even going to make
I'll
it
take him
back
as
for week
backup.
one.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going to risk Burrow. Herbert, who
Yeah.
who I think is going to be the rookie of the year. Sorry, James Robinson, you deserve it. But Herbert, I think, will be the first QB out of this rookie draft
James
class.
Robinson didn't play last. He didn't play last week, did he?
He was
yeah.
the number one. Like most teams that won their fantasy team in Yahoo
I
had
understand.
Herbert.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
their
really?
QB. Yeah, he was the number one player on most fantasy
Huh.
championship teams, which I thought.
So
was
I think,
crazy.
yeah. he'll win
I
rookie
think
of the year.
he will. I would draft him as my starting quarterback, and I take him 4th round.
Really, that seems early. I'd take him later if I can get him.
I would be comfortable and confident.
But I like it.
in fourth round.
If we do a draft or we do mock drafts and you start saying, if he goes to the live draft in the fourth round,
so
the next draft I do,
which QB did I draft in the fourth round in most of these leagues? Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he was a fourth round talent?
No, I think he's high.
Higher, right? And that's what I'm saying is Russell Wilson is going to leapfrog up there.
Yeah.
There's going to be people that will try and snag him in the second round this year, next year, or maybe even the third round. He's not going to be available for me in the fourth round. But you know who will be? Herbert.
Yeah.
Because people like you are going to sleep on him and be like, man, I could probably wait until
you
6
people?
or 7. You, as in basically all the Reeds in the world. So I like, and Herbert, I think is going to be, I like him. I like him a lot.
I like him too. He's
got,
going to beat the Chiefs this week. I don't know if you know.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Henny did pretty good for us last year. No, we had Matt Moore. That's right. Who knows? I was going to go try, me and Johnny, we're going to try and go to the game this weekend.
Yeah.
But the tickets are still like $120. And I'm just like, per
not
person.
For a game that you're not even going to see a starter. Yeah.
It's just like, it's not worth it.
How much are playoff tickets?
I don't know. I can look at those.
Katie's going to try and go to every one, but I'm sure she'll make her boyfriend, whose name is also Nick, pay for those. All right. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening this season. We'll be back around the draft. Maybe we'll do one after the Super Bowl.
I think we should do one before the Super Bowl.
Before the Super Bowl? All right.
Give us a prediction.
Yeah.
We can talk about how we might make coaching changes.
For the Bills Buccaneers Super Bowl. It'll be Josh Allen.
Bills, the Buccaneers.
It could happen.
Super Bowl I, baby. Rematch. Packers and Chiefs.
That could be too. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Washington State.